Worldwide Productions is proud to present Rampage by the
What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now this week there wasn't really a whole lot going on in the political scene, except for a lot of people are protesting against Biden and his mandates. They're also doing it, other countries, they're all protesting against the mandates over there as well from their own governments. That's pretty much about all that's going on that's really major in the news. There are a few things I want to talk about this week before we get into your B-movie reviews. The first thing I want to talk about is I just got done watching the second season of the new show called Evil. I think it's on CBS. I'm not for sure, but I can't remember. The first season was really good. Basically, the show's about you have a team that looks into paranormal activity. You have a priest or a man who's about to be ordained as a priest, and then you have a psychiatrist, and then a tech guy, electronics, that kind of stuff. They're hired by the church, the Catholic Church, to investigate paranormal activity or phenomena. Now, like I said, the first season was really good. I liked it for the most part. I don't like the character that plays the rivalry of the team. I don't care for that character at all. I think it's dumb that he's even in the show. The mother in season 2, she goes all bad. The psychiatrist's mother, she goes all bad, like she's been possessed or some crap by these evil dolls or some shit. She finds them and tries to summon up a demon or some crap. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's really weird. I don't understand what the whole thing is with her giving blood or blood being taken out of her and some other kind of substance being put into her. I don't know. It's weird. They keep finding these sigils that is part of like this kind of map of demonic houses or some shit. It's like their crest. And they're trying to follow it. That's the main storyline, besides all the other stories they go through every episode. I don't know. It's really strange. It's really weird. I like the character George. I think it's a cool character. However, The second season, they got real political with a lot of the episodes, and it started leaning way far left and, creating scenarios that would never truly happen, and it's bullshit. It's just far left ideology. So the second season it kind of fell flat for me. It got dumb and retarded. I don't recommend the second season. Like I said, it got really stupid. I'm not sure if I'll continue watching this show or not. But that's my thoughts on the show Evil. I also just got done watching the second season of the show called See, S-E-E. It's a Apple supposed original. It's a cool show. I like it, even though it's kind of strange. They don't really explain why everyone went blind. Like the whole world went blind for like 100 years or better. And they don't really explain what happened. It's never been explained on the show once. Now all of a sudden, there's a few children who are being born that can see now. So sight is starting to return to the human population, and and they're being hunted down. That's pretty much the show. I like the show for the most part. However, there is one character they will, for whatever reason, they just will not kill off, and she needs to go. She makes the whole show, I don't know, I can't stand the character. I don't know if the writer is doing that to torture people, keeping her alive or not. But the queen bitch, how many times she's been... It's like the bitch should have been already dead by now, as many times as people have tried to kill her. But she's like a cockroach. No matter how many times you step on her, there's always some plot twist or whatever that allows her to stay alive. And I think it's getting old. That bitch needs to die. And just get on with the show. She brings nothing to the show anyway. Except for to aggravate people. Now, this second season they brought in Dave Bautista to play Jason Momoa's fucking brother or whatever. And of course they kill him off. Spoiler alert. And then at the end, Jason Momoa's character, Baba Vasa, or whatever the fuck you want, Baba Vasa, he takes off into the bright young wonder or whatever to disappear. The show's alright for the most part. There isn't a bunch of like political bullshit in it, which is good, or else I probably wouldn't be watching the show. Do I recommend it? Yeah, sure. You're into that kind of thing. Sci-fi, fantasy kind of thing. Because it has sci-fi elements. It's post-apocalyptic. But then it has fantasy elements because they're not using machines and shit anymore. They're using like swords and archery. So I give it 2 thumbs up. It's a pretty good show. I recommend it. I did watch a series called Lie to Me. There's only 3 seasons. It stars Tim Roth, and it's similar to The Mentalist and Monk. He runs an agency that solves crimes for like the FBI and shit. They call on him when they need some help. He's a scientist. I liked most of the characters on the show for the most part. I didn't like the Mexican chick, even though she was good looking. She was kind of annoying because she thought she knew everything. But I like the fact that Tim Roth's character would always put her in her place because she wasn't as smart as she thought she was. Now Tim Roth, he's an amazing actor. I like Tim Roth, but I just felt he wasn't quite right for the part. They should have someone else play the main character. He just didn't fit the character. Not to me, anyway. The show's a good show. They catch people in lies and stuff, scientifically, watching their behavior and mannerisms, that kind of thing. It's sad that they only did 3 seasons. If you like The Mentalist and Monk, them kind of shows, 2 thumbs up. Definitely give Lie to Me a try. I'm sure you'll like it. Like I said, it just sucks that they only did 3 seasons. They could have done way more. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the thing that everyone seems to be talking about right now. My brother and I, we just watched the Dune movie, which wasn't even a movie. They've turned this into like a mini-series or some crap. Everyone's raving about the special effects and the CGI, but that's literally all they're liking. The story, they're doing a terrible job of the story. The movie episode was okay. It was alright, but it wasn't that spectacular. I liked the original from 1984 quite a bit better. They added some scenes in there and took away some stuff. Like the Faye character, he's not in this. And that was one of the main characters. So I don't know what the hell this writer-director is thinking. Idiots. But the movie's okay. Unless you're a hardcore sci-fi fan, I wouldn't recommend it. I give it a thumbs up and a thumbs down. It was okay. Wasn't horrible, but wasn't that great either. Okay, let's get on to your B-movie reviews. Alright, Movieholics. As you know, this month is All Horror Month. We are reviewing all horror flicks this month, and moving on to the next 2. One is a Roger Corman movie, and the other one is a John Carpenter movie. The first one we're going to talk about is called Humanoids from the Deep, a Roger Corman classic. It was done in 1980. Made about $2.5 million at the box office, which was okay for a B movie actually back then. You can't go wrong with the star for B-rated flicks. Doug McClure was the main star, along with Ann Turkel. Now, Doug McClure he was fairly popular during the 70s and early 80s. He did a lot of B-rated sci-fi and fantasy and horror flicks. The story's simple. You have some government scientists who come down, which is the main scientist is Ann Turkle. She's working on a project where by introducing some gene splicing into the DNA of certain fish, I think it's salmon, it gets them to produce more and faster so that they can gather more fish every year, the fishermen where they're at. Now, they were experimenting in the lab, but somehow, whatever happened, some of the eggs, a batch of them got lost on the way or some shit, got dumped into the sea. You have some ancient form of marine life that ate the eggs and then ended up getting the gene splicing into them, the chemical or whatever that helped create the eggs. And of course it mutated them and started to make them to grow through their evolution way faster than they normally would. They took on human characteristics. So they're kind of a hybrid of like a humanoid fish. Half human, half fish. Don't ask me how they did that through a genetic material fish, but whatever. Now, in order to upgrade their evolution, they need human females to impregnate. They are no longer asexual. They are now, they have to have two sexes. So, they start attacking townsfolk. They're killing everyone, men, children. But the females, they keep alive and impregnate. They attack the town towards the end of the movie. And of course, Doug McClure and Ann Turkle figure a way out how to kill them all off. Or supposedly they kill them all off. Everything ends well. They kill them all off, supposedly. And that's the end of the movie. Now, naturally, more than likely they couldn't kill every single one of them. And some of the genetic material is probably still floating around somewhere in the sea. So that didn't make a lot of sense to try to make it look like they killed them all off. Now, for a B-rated movie, monster flick about, Black Lagoon type creatures, mermaid kind of things. It wasn't actually that bad of a movie, to be honest. It was actually fairly decent for what it was. I thought it was going to be really bad, but you had some decent actors in it, which definitely helped. Would I recommend this movie? Yeah, for a one-time see, it wasn't that bad. 2 thumbs up. It was decent for, a classic B-rated horror movie. But it didn't feel scary to me. It was more like sci-fi type to me than it was horror, but whatever. Moving on. The next movie that I watched was a John Carpenter movie. It was done in 1982. and it made almost 20 million worldwide, which is really good for back then. It starred Kurt Russell and Keith David, and it is basically a remake of a classic movie from like the 50s, and it is called The Thing. Now, I've never watched the original 50s version. I have to get around to doing that at some point in time. And there's been another remake of this, and it was done in like 2011 with Kate Beckinsale in it. I've never watched it either. But this is a classic horror flick, cult classic. Basically, you have a scientific team who are working out in Antarctica, probably collecting ice and that kind of thing, you know. The different layers and time periods, you know, specimens they find in the ice. Anyways, at the very beginning of the movie, you have this dog that runs into their base, the United States base. Now you got a couple of Norwegian guys chasing this dog in a helicopter, and they're trying to shoot him at the very beginning of the movie. They land at the U.S. base where the dog is gone to, and the dog tries to run up on the scientists at the U.S. base, and the Norwegian guys are just shooting at random, can't hit the broadside of a barn. But one of the U.S. guys sees him shooting. Even though they're trying to shoot the dog, they end up clipping one of the U.S. guys. So one of the U.S. guys pulls out a gun, the leader of the scientific group, and shoots the Norwegian dude. The other guy, he ends up blowing up in the helicopter because somehow it gets set on fire. The doctor of the group and the main pilot, which is played by Kurt Russell, they call him McReady, or Macready, sorry. He pilots in their chopper over to the Norwegian base to find out what happened. They collect some videos and other evidence. They see most of there were like 8 of them on the Norwegian team, and most of them are all dead, plus the 2 that got killed at the U.S. base. Now, they find a dead body that's been disfigured and distorted, so they bag it up and take it back with them to examine it. While this is going on, come to find out the dog's not what it appears to be, and you have this alien life form that starts duplicating everybody by taking over their bodies. They figure out that the Norwegian team discovered a spaceship and an alien life form, and now it's trying to work its way off of Antarctica to the population of Earth. Towards the end, Kurt Russell and the few that are left, there's like 3 or 4 of them towards the end that are left, because they keep killing each other off one by one because of this thing. It's killing them off, so they're having to kill it. It just keeps getting into them. They decide to blow up the whole base because the alien life form destroyed the helicopter, and some type of tractor or whatever that plows through snow easily. Anyways, they decide to blow up the base. Towards the end, Kurt Russell faces it at the very end and supposedly blows it up along with the base. He's left out in the cold. There happens to be one other survivor, which is Keith David's character. His name is Childs, and they end up sitting there watching each other to make sure neither one of them has become the thing, because they were alone at the time the base was blown up, so they don't know if they can trust one another. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. They pretty much, freeze to death and die. Supposedly neither one of them was the thing. Like I said, this is a cult classic. Basically, who's who type movie, who's really who and who's really not. It keeps you guessing on who the thing has become. Do I recommend this movie? Yeah, I give it 2 thumbs up. Definitely check this one out. It's a great movie. A really cult classic, like I said. And if you're into sci-fi and horror, this is definitely one you need to check out. Anyways, that's all I have for you this time around. If you have any thoughts or comments about what I talked about earlier in the video, please leave your thoughts down the comment section down below. I'd like to hear them. Also, if you know of any B-rated flicks or underrated movies that you think I may never have seen or might not have seen, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below, and I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. So until next time, I told you to be told the truth, and you just been told.